Guys, so far we have created our RDS instance and we have installed SQL Server Management Studio, which is the management tool that we'll be using to manage our RDS database. So now it's time to connect to our RDS database. So what we are going to need to connect is the endpoint. So normally when you're connecting to SQL Server, you normally utilize a host name. However, RDS managed databases do not use a host name, but they use an endpoint. So from your RDS main dashboard, and if you don't know how to get to this dashboard or you don't remember, in the search box search for RDS, then select RDS, and then select database instances, and then you'll be seeing the databases that you created. However, if by some chance you're not seeing the databases, because when I was just starting out, this has happened to me before. Because I was in a different region, I was not able to see my databases. So if I select US East, then I will not be seeing any RDS database instance. So let me select East Ohio. Select your database instance, right? And on the connectivity and security page, you will see your endpoint. So let's copy this and the port that your database is configured to run on. So from all programs, search for SMS or SQL Server Management Studio, then select it. So for your server name, specify the endpoint and the authentication type is going to be SQL Server Authentication, and for the login it's the admin, and then specify your password. So I'm going to check remember password. When you're connecting to your server, if you wanted to connect to a specific database on your instance, right, select option, and then in the connect to database you specify the database that you want to connect to. So I'm not going to specify any database, so I'm going to select login. Now let's select connect. So my connection should have went through already. So it seems like I'm going to get a connection timeout error. So let's wait a little bit more and see. So a network related or instance specific error occurred while establishing a connection to the SQL server. So more often than not, what happened in this case is that I need to allow my IP to access the database instance. So let's go back to the RDS console. So on the security and connectivity page, the first thing you want to ensure that you check is the publicly accessible. So it is selected yes, so we are good in this regards. Now the whole reason why we are using public is because we don't have a site-to-site VPN in place. However, as a database administrator, this is something that you don't have to worry too much about within your organization. So under security, select the security group. Select inbound rules. Scroll down. So here I have 3 inbound rules. So what I am going to do is select edit inbound rules. I am going to add a new rule and the type is MS SQL. Once I select MS SQL, it will populate the port range. In the source section where you see custom, select the drop down and select my IP. Then select save rules. So now let's go back to Management Studio and try to connect to the database instance. So select connect and there we go. Within a few seconds, you should be able to connect to your RDS database instance. Now I intentionally allow this because these are issues that will arise sometime and you have to troubleshoot your way to figure out what happened. So to test that everything is working fine, select new query and type select get date. Select get date is a simple function that returns the current date and time. So let's execute and the date is returned as the 28th of the 2nd, 2023. In the next lecture, we're going to be taking a look at option groups.